Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Does the Obama administration really want to solve all the controversies in Washington? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The answer seems to be no. The Obama administration does not want to tell us, we the people, what happened in Benghazi, Libya, how the IRS got so far out of control, and what exactly the feds are doing snooping around private communications. We are being stonewalled. Here are some facts to support my assertion. The Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, misled us when he said this on March 12th.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly.
I was asked, when are you going to stop beating your wife kind of question, which is meaning not answerable necessarily by a simple yes or no. So I responded in what I thought was the most truthful or least untruthful manner by saying no.
The least untruthful manner, Mr. Clapper? Is that what you think your duty is, to tell us the least untruth? Clapper knew the NSA was collecting all kinds of data. He knew that, and purposely did not tell the truth. And then we have FBI Director Robert Mueller. He's in charge of finding out why the IRS targeted conservative groups and individuals.
Can you tell me some basics? Can you tell me how many agents, investigators you've assigned to the case?
May be able to do that, but I'd have to get back to you.
Can you tell me who the lead investigator is?
Off the top of my head, no.
This is the most important issue in front of the country the last 6 weeks. You don't know who's heading up the case? Who the lead investigator is?
At this juncture, no, I do not know.
Mueller doesn't know? Are you kidding me? Surely he knew he'd be asked about the IRS investigation in front of the Judiciary Committee. Surely he knew that. If Mueller doesn't know specifics about the IRS investigation, it's because he doesn't want to know. It's the old deniability deal. Gee, I don't know anything about it, even though I'm in charge. So where have we heard that before?
And it's also been reported that the Associated Press refrained from releasing this story for a week until the department confirmed that doing so would not jeopardize national security interests. That indicates that the AP was amenable to working with you on this matter. If that is the case, why was it necessary to subpoena the telephone records? Did you seek the AP's assistance in the first place? And if not, why not?
Again, Mr. Chairman, I don't know what happened there with the interaction between the AP and the Justice Department. I was recused from the case.
Holder is Mueller's boss, yet he doesn't know anything about snooping on reporters. He hasn't heard anything about it. This is an insult to the intelligence of all Americans. So it's clear the Obama administration is not going to aggressively investigate the controversies. Not going to do it. Therefore, Congress must do it. We can't rely on the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, or anybody else in the federal bureaucracy to tell us the truth. Sadly, there will have to be special prosecutors appointed in almost all of the cases. And of course, that will be slow going. By the time we know what really happened, President Obama will be finishing up his second term. So you can see the strategy here. Is this the way the United States government should be running? You make the call. And that's a memo. Now to the top story tonight. Perhaps the most aggressive interrogator in Congress these days is Trey Gowdy from South Carolina. He's a former federal prosecutor and serves on the House Judiciary Committee as well as on the Oversight Committee. Here's Mr. Gowdy grilling former IRS Commissioner Douglas Shulman.
Did you do anything to verify that the practice, as insidious as it was stopped?
The Inspector General was going to be looking into it, and that's what...
Is it that you can't say yes or no, or you're just choosing not to say yes or no? Can you answer the question, did you do anything personally to make sure that this insidious, discriminatory practice was stopped? Yes or no?
Shulman had no meaningful answer. Joining us now from Washington is Congressman Gowdy. You sounded like me. You see, you were rude, bold, and fresh.
I didn't sound that good, but thank you.
What is your opinion on what's really going on with the IRS? I mean, we now know that it's into the Washington bureaucracy. It's not a Cincinnati deal. Do you think this was orchestrated by the Democratic Party or the White House?
Well, I don't have any evidence to support that, but I can tell you this. One place we ought to be looking is the Obama-Biden re-elect. Not just the White House, but their re-election team. I like to deal in evidence. I can't prove to you that it goes to the White House. I can tell you this. I don't think two rogue agents in Cincinnati concocted this scheme on their own.
So somebody concocted what you call the scheme and to target the Tea Party and other conservatives and criminally leak out some IRS private information to enemies of those people. That's a criminal offense. Where do you go from here? As you just heard, and do you agree with me the Obama administration is not going to get to the bottom? They don't want to know what happened? Do you agree with that?
I do. They're not going to get to the bottom because they don't have to get to the bottom. There are a couple of groups that provide oversight in our system. One is Congress, one's the voters, and one's the media. And with the exception of a couple of media outlets, they're not providing oversight.
No, they're not going to go after it. So you're going to have to, somebody's going to have to advance the story, and I'm wondering where that's going to come from. How are you going to find out who concocted the scheme, as you call it? How are you going to do that?
Prosecutors use a grand jury, use all the investigatory arrows in the quiver, if you will. Congress is limited in their ability to convene a grand jury or offer immunity or incent testimony. You need special prosecutors. I hate to say that, but that's the way the system's set up, and they're better at it.
Explain to the folks how that's going to happen. Who's going to call for the special prosecutor? Who's going to call for the federal grand jury?
Well, therein lies the problem. We do not have an independent counsel statute anymore. It expired.
Right.
And under our system, the Attorney General, whatever differences I have with him, and they are legion, but the Attorney General selects a special prosecutor like Patrick Fitzgerald and gives them access to a grand jury.
And do you really think Eric Holder is going to do that when he's in the crosshairs of some of this stuff?
If we put enough pressure on the White House, the answer is maybe. But Congress, no matter how much I miss my old job, I cannot prosecute people. I can't sentence them. I can't put them in front of 12 jurors. We can cut funding. And Bill, one thing that we should have done weeks ago is cut the funding to the IRS, not just because of this, but also because of implementing Obamacare. Now, why my colleagues and me, throw me in it too, have been slow to cut the funding for IRS is tough for me to explain as well.
Well, I think, lots of Americans around tax time would like that, but I don't know if that's going to get you anywhere. Lois Lerner, the one who took the Fifth Amendment, she seems to be somebody who would really be able to advance the story. Are you guys going to give her immunity to testify, thereby forcing her to answer the questions?
Not until we've exhausted every other avenue. You start as low as you can. You don't get John Gotti to testify against his driver. You get the driver to testify against John Gotti. Start as low as you can. Offer whatever deals you have to, keeping in mind that the people have to tell the truth and the whole truth. Use the grand jury. Use your investigative tools. Congress is just not set up to do that, but prosecutors are.
All right, but I don't have any realistic expectation that the Attorney General is going to do what you want the Attorney General to do. And so the bottom line is this is going to be in limbo and just going to be slugging around and nothing's going to happen. I'll give you the last word.
I think the bottom line is you're going to see guys like Jimmy Jordan and Jason Chaffetz and others who are in Congress asking the questions that prosecutors would ask, and hopefully our fellow citizens will be so disgusted that regardless of political persuasion, they will demand criminal accountability for these actions.
All right, Congressman, we will follow the story, and we appreciate your time tonight. Next on the Rundown,